North Dakota High School football has officially started, setting athletes up for safe practices and warm weather begins before they even step foot on the field. Doctors say that hydration is key when you're spending a lot of time outside, and it's important to hydrate not just during practice but also before. They also say that knowing what the temperature is going to be, the humidity, surface temperature are all very important. So if it's going to be a hot day, wear light colored clothing versus dark colored.
It really comes down to a person to person, athlete to athlete situation. We've had athletes that we are pre-hydrating crazy amounts of fluid and they still cramp up.
Now, doctors also say that it's important to watch for signs during practices as well. Things like cramping or hot skin without sweating are common signs of heat-related illnesses.